There's a halo effect when we look at a sports fan and their avidity and their loyalty. It's very much how many consumers feel about certain brands as well.
We're joined by Jamie from Ipsos and Nicole from BCG. Welcome both. Jamie, at Ipsos, you look at so much data and so many of the trends that are emerging. We're fascinated by the sports market in particular. In the last few years, there's been so much more social media engagement, so many issues that have sort of brought sports fans out to the fore. You must have so much more data now than ever before. Give us a sense of some of the insights that you're getting.
Absolutely. The sports market is changing very quickly. And what we see is not only an increase in fandom across not just avid fans, but also an increase in fandom from the perspective of casual fans as well, who might not be as knowledgeable or have as much history with their sports fandom, but who are leaning into other areas of the sports ecosystem that have been powered by recent evolutions in technology, such as social media. And now casual fans who might not be as avid with respect to the sport itself might be interested in the fashion of the athletes as creators, what the behind the scenes elements are behind the sport itself before, during, and after the match or the game. And so it's a very interesting and quickly moving landscape, and brands are taking notice as well. And so there's a very big lean in motion right now from sponsors with respect to leaning in and engaging with athletes and with teams and with leagues as well.
And Nicole, we are sort of seeing this entire ecosystem around sports, not just about the sports themselves anymore, even in terms of female sports, which haven't always been so prevalent before. Tell us a bit about what you're seeing.
Yeah, I think that's the most interesting and emerging audience in that space. Situational fans, as you say, the casual fans, very often females getting into particular matches, games, sports via fashion, via events. It's a very big trend. And very often these situational fans are then here to stay because the fashion sticks, the clothing sticks. It's a very interesting space. And it's a space for new brands, existing brands to get new female audiences.
And Jamie, is there something specific about sports fans? They already engender such loyalty to a cause. Does it make them a particularly interesting consumer for other brands?
Absolutely. There's a halo effect when we look at a sports fan and their avidity and their loyalty. It's very much how many consumers feel about certain brands as well. And so there's a parallel. And when brands align with sports fans, whether that be in a moment of interest that could go viral on social media, or just from a longer term sponsorship perspective, the halo effect of that passion can lend itself into a consumer's engagement with a brand that they see next to a particular athlete or sport.
And Nicole, are brands leaning into this enough? Do they know where to focus and how are they sort of using data, I suppose, to make those decisions?
It's tricky for brands to really get into it. And to add to what's very interesting about the sport audience community is it's a group halo effect. So it's not just a one to one, it's a one to many. It's group marketing in that. And that's a very new space. It's a space brands get into via influencer. It's a space brands get into via data points. Generative AI helps these brands for the first time to be quicker to market, to understand what is being discussed on all these social networks and how to activate. So we certainly see that on the big horizon.
And Jamie, you're sort of seeing how consumers are reacting to all of this. Give us a sense of some of the insights that you've got to, I mean, even sort of just the adaptation of AI to some of this world.
The AI space is changing very, very quickly. And at Ipsos, we represent the voice of the user, the voice of the consumer. And in our research around the world, we see that it's a very mixed bag as it relates to this notion of trust in AI from a consumer perspective. So we study that very closely, whether that's simply a trust in an AI image generation tool, or the trust by a consumer towards a brand leveraging AI in its advertising. And it's very much a mixed bag as far as sentiment in that regard. And we're seeing that as consumers themselves become users of AI, that trust is slowly increasing.
That's so interesting. Well, thank you both for joining us and for giving us a sense of what's happening in both sports and branding. It's been a really fascinating chat. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for having
Thank you
us.
for having us.